CBS.
Coming up, some new flooding is reported as more rounds of heavy rain hit the mountains.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. 2 weeks after a historic natural disaster was underway, more heavy rain leads to a lot of anxiety and some more flooding across the region. In Pike County, we've had several reports of high water tonight. One video shows people trying to drive through the flood water, which you should not do, on Little Robinson Creek. We also saw pictures of new flooding in the Virgie area. Minor flooding was also reported in parts of Pulaski and Rockcastle counties. The good news so far, there are no reports of injuries or major damage from this round of high water. But is the threat finally over? The radar looks much better than it did earlier. Meteorologist Evan Hatter joins us as our Severe Weather Alert Day coverage is hopefully wrapping up soon. Evan.
Well, Steve, I think we're getting close. Outside, we're still watching a couple of those fronts or that last front pushing through the region, not necessarily here yet, but it's off to the north and west. And now that we've dropped past sunset, we are much calmer outside when it comes to the weather, especially as those storms have started to diminish. But earlier on, we had some reports of flooding. KSP reported a car stranded by floodwater at the intersection of 610 and Indian Creek Road in Virgie. This is why we say turn around, don't drown. Never drive through a flooded roadway because you don't know how deep the water is. You don't know if the road or a bridge has been washed out under that. So that's why we always say turn around, don't drown. Further to the west, parts of Pulaski and Rockcastle counties, some rock slides, some roads closed due to high water about 5 hours ago, but for the most part, we've heard of no major injuries or anything like that, as Steve said. And you see that boundary still off to the north, so we're not completely out of the woods when it comes to rainfall until that finally moves out. But we're hoping for the best as we head through tonight. Now, the flood watch continues for about another hour. They've already let it go across portions of West Virginia, Lawrence County, Dickinson, and Buchanan counties, but still in effect for everybody for about another hour as we head through tonight. But that excessive rainfall outlook has been taken out of the mountains, except for West Virginia counties, as a matter of fact. But as we head through tonight, near 70, showers and storms coming to an end, but we'll have to watch for that patchy fog out there as well. Could be dense in some spots. The latest on that coming up in just a little bit. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Definitely some good news ahead. Well, Governor Andy Beshear was in Letcher County today, where he visited the Neon community and spent some time discussing how state government plans to help people get back on their feet. One thing he specifically mentioned was working to ensure more Kentuckians were approved for individual assistance through Fema.
I'm making it my mission to push and push and push, especially on the FEMA side. The people that have been through this need to qualify for that individual assistance, and we need more acceptances. We're seeing way too many denials.
Governor Beshear says his job is not to be on Team Red or Team Blue, but Team Kentucky, and he's going to be pushing the federal government to do better each day. Well, officials came together in Floyd County to address some concerns with flood victims and talk them through the process of applying for disaster assistance. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more from a town hall meeting where officials with FEMA and the Small Business Administration took questions.
Officials with the Floyd County Fiscal Court, FEMA, and Small Business Administration came together Wednesday to address concerns regarding the process of obtaining federal disaster relief.
And we're just here to provide information to survivors so that they understand the resources that are available to them, how to access those resources, and how to keep in contact with us so that they can get the assistance that they need.
Encouraging people in Floyd County to meet in person, not just to ask questions, but to fill out applications at the nearest FEMA Disaster Relief Center if they have not already.
If you can, please visit and fill that application out in person rather than doing it online, because what happens with the online process is it's long and it's difficult to fill it out.
In an effort to help those affected by flooding return to their new normal as soon as possible.
people have lost so much. People have lost everything, totally everything, you know. So this loan is important for them, for them to get back on their feet, to get their businesses together, to get back to normal life.
Making sure folks know what to expect throughout the process of filing a claim with either organization.
I don't want one person to fall through the cracks. We're going to be here with you every step of the way. If you're a Floyd County resident, we're going to help you to get back in your home, or we're going to find alternatives to helping you get housing.
And ensuring no one is left behind. In Floyd County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
You can find more information about how to apply for FEMA or SBA assistance on our website at WYMT.com. You can also contact FEMA through their assistance hotline. That number is 1-800-745-0243. Now, FEMA announced 2 new disaster recovery centers earlier today, and they are in Breathitt and Letcher counties. Take a look at your screen. In Breathitt County, the center will be located at the Breathitt County Library, and in Letcher County, it's at the Letcher County Recreation Center. Other disaster recovery centers include Hazard Community and Technical College in Perry County, the Sportsplex in Knott County, and Oneida Elementary School in Clay County. All centers are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday. Survivors in Breathitt, Clay, Floyd, Knott, Leslie, Letcher, Magoffin, Martin, Owsley, Perry, Pike, and Whitley counties can go to any center to get help with applications for federal assistance. Senator Mitch McConnell wrapped up his tour of eastern Kentucky today. He visited the Lost Creek area of Breathitt County, one area hit very hard by floodwaters. Homes were washed off their foundations there. That's also the area where the president visited earlier this week. We talked with Breathitt County Judge Executive Jeff Noble. He says the county is making progress, but they could still use some help.
The biggest thing right now is volunteers to come in and help these people clean their house out. That's the biggest thing before right now. I've got 2 pages of homes that if we can get somebody here, we need help doing this.
The judge executive says the county started the Breathitt County Flood Relief 2022 Fund. If you would like to make a donation, you can call the courthouse. Your donation can go to a specific area of the county as well. For nearly 2 weeks, Kentucky State Police have been looking for 60-year-old Vanessa Baker, one of the 2 women from Breathitt County who have been missing since the flood. Anthony Mullins is Vanessa's nephew and pastor of County Line Community Church on the Perry-Breathitt line. On the night of the floods, Anthony was on the phone with his mom. His dad, Vanessa's brother, was swept off his porch by the force of the water. He went to try and help Vanessa, but he cut his foot, fell, and the 2 got separated. He's turned his heartache into a mission, working to serve others.
You know, my family, they don't even have a splinter of their house left. It's all gone, and anything they can get to help them through this time is appreciative.
While his family awaits news from officials, he says the outpouring of support from both near and far has been a true glimmer of hope. Now, anyone with information about Vanessa Baker or Nancy Cundiff, the 2 women missing in Breathitt County, if you have any information, you're asked to call the KSB Post 13 in Hazard at 606-435-6069. Team Rubicon, a veteran-led humanitarian organization dedicated to helping folks clean up following disasters, is helping to impact our region. Team Rubicon is operating in Letcher and Pike counties, helping to clean up folks' homes following the devastating flood. Today, the organization spent time in Jenkins, helping to clear the home of Marilyn Durham, who has lived there for more than 20 years.
It was really hard. The first few days, I was just almost in shock. I couldn't think or talk hardly. I still can't. Kind of still nervous.
Team Rubicon Incident Commander Jarrett Brown says the organization's work can help bring hope to people like Durham and make it easier for them to rebuild in the future. Even the youngest Kentuckians are stepping up to help with flood relief. Prestonsburg Mayor Les Stapleton shared this photo tonight. He says he was visited by Mika Hall and Abrela Hernandez Alcantar, who wanted to do something to help the flood victims. He says during the past 2 days, the girls have raised more than $600, which will be used to purchase gift cards for flood victims. The mayor thanked the girls for their efforts and for allowing him to start his day with such positivity. Officials in Clay County say they can see signs that communities are on the mend. Clay County lost dozens of homes and 2 people were killed in the flooding there. While many front yards remain cluttered and the insides of houses gutted, officials say they are seeing a lot of progress. Emergency Manager David Watson says 10 homes are not habitable and the flooding destroyed 50 or 60 others. But after the waters receded, volunteers moved in, cooking, clearing, and being available where they are needed.
Extraordinary, volunteering and bringing not just their hands, but their homes and their equipment, and even their sons and daughters to come in and help.
Several roads, including a portion of Highway 11, are down to 1 lane while crews stabilize areas that were washed out. Well, state officials are warning folks in eastern Kentucky to watch out for snakes during ongoing cleanup efforts. The Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet says its crews ran across this snake while helping in flooded areas. The Commonwealth is home to a number of venomous snakes, mainly copperheads and timber rattlers in our region. They're warning people to be careful and watch out for any potential threats in the area. Snakes could be hiding in debris piles, so be extra careful when you're picking up and clearing debris. The last thing you want is a snake bite and a trip to the hospital. Well, officials with the Virginia Department of Energy declared 2 abandoned mine land emergencies today. Both are in the Pound community of Wise County, Virginia. Officials say an underground mine partially fell in on Sunnydale Farm Road, creating a 15-foot deep hole. Officials also said an access road to 2 homes was washed out on Bowser Hollow Road. An AML grant of more than $137,000 will fill the hole on Sunnydale Farm Road, while a $65,000 grant will make Bowser Hollow Road accessible again. If you live in Virginia and have an issue with abandoned mine lands, you're asked to call Virginia Energy at 276-523-8100. Well, kids in several eastern Kentucky school districts are already back in the classroom. Today marked the first day of school in Lawrence County, among others. School administrators say this is the first time since the pandemic kids are coming into their first day of school without having to wear a mask. But if they want to wear them, they still have that option. Principal Ed Dixon says this school year will be about easing students back into a traditional classroom setting after going through a pandemic and virtual learning.
It is special and it is different. I've been here for 25 years. I've taught most of these adults as a high school teacher. I was a high school teacher for 16 years, and to see them and their kids come back to our school, the kids know what to expect from me. I try to stay as consistent as possible, and I have the same expectations I had as a classroom educator. It's not my school, it's not their school, it's our school. So we work in collectively.
Now, some school districts have obviously pushed their start dates back after the historic flooding. We have a list of start back dates that we are updating on our website, WYMT.com. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, we'll show you how a local musician is using his voice to help flood victims more than a decade after he lost his own home during the 2012 tornado outbreak.
Plus, our heavy rain starts moving out soon and a much nicer weather is on the way. Plus, I'll tell you what that map says. Full details on the way next.
What's the FAFSA?
I know